Good morning, everyone. We have a snow day today, which means we'll have an online class for those of you who want to attend. It's going to be on Google Hangouts starting at 8:15. Log in with your GCC student email and password and choose Hangouts. Go through the instructions on that if you want to attend. If you don't, I have some information of how you're going to be able to go through the material. Make sure you do our lab exercises on interactive physiology as well as the dynamic study modules. Those dynamic study modules or those activities are going to put you in good shape for this material. So we need to talk about the immune system. And the topic we're going to use is a flu vaccine under the assumption that if we can figure out how a flu vaccine is supposed to work, we're going to know a lot about what we need for the immune system. I'll have a study guide for the second exam posted later today, and you'll see that all of the topics we cover today will be integrated into another type of question that involves also the HIV virus and the relationship to AIDS. Happy Snow Day, everyone. We are going to have our class today on the flu vaccine to wind down our discussion on the immune system. We still need to finish this discussion. We'll have our second exam a week from today in class to get it done before spring break. So to do our assignment today, you should join our session on learning catalytics. This is a group activity. The individual round starts now and will end Tuesday morning at the beginning of class. That's going to be 50% of your grade. And then we'll collect into groups, and you can choose the answers that your group agrees on for the other 50% of your grade. The reason this grade is weighted more towards the individual score in this case is that I hope it's still a group activity. You can find answers to the individual round anywhere you want. Your book, I encourage you to use the interactive physiology resources on our website and to use the discussion forum. So as a class, you should come up with the correct answers to the individual round before we even get to class. I hope it will be 100%. Okay, so in order to go through the activities today in the virus, what we need to do is, first off, look at an immune response to a virus. And that's going to start with penetration of physical barriers, whether that's the skin or mucous membranes. Move on to what's going on with the innate immune system with the macrophages, neutrophils and eosinophils, maybe the basophils. At some point, we're going to integrate mast cells, although not today. But then macrophages, that's going to be important, and other antigen-presenting cells, and how those cells are involved in activation of T helper cells. So in order to move forward on this, you're going to need to use some terms. We're going to need to use the terms CD4. We're going to need MHC, the class 2. We need a T cell receptor. And we're going to need an antigen. Okay. When we get to cytotoxic T cell activation, we're going to need things like CD8 marker, as well as T cell receptor. And we're going to need MHC class 1. For B cell activation, we need to talk about those cell surface markers, and then how helper T cells are involved in coordinating the activity of B cells and cytotoxic T cells, as well as cells of the innate immune system. And this is a critical idea in a primary immune response. Now, with a flu vaccine, which involves administering an inactive flu virus, we don't really care that those particles should be eliminated relatively quickly. So then the important part is what happens to this memory response. How is that generated, and how does that help protect us from further infection?